Hello students, hope you all are well in this pandemic situation. So be home and stay safe. So our today's topic is motion. Motion is nothing but a phenomena. It is a physical movement or change in the position or the place. Okay, here as you can see it is written that what is motion. Okay, it is nothing but a phenomena. An object changes its position over time. Okay, here you can see a girl is standing and reference point is written. So it is a point from where you can, or here the girl is starting point, so that she can reach to a desired destination where she wanted. Now as she will move forward or backward, either her choice, that is called as the movement or motion. Okay, means if you will go from one position to another, then that means what, that you are in motion. Okay, you are doing movement. And just contradictory means opposite to this motion is rest. When you are not in any motion, you are simply standing in a position. Okay, so here about motion, our topic is about motion. So you know as what is motion, but scientifically, okay, here you have to describe this motions. And how do you describe this? So some terms are there like distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, speed and time. So what is distance? Distance is the length of the actual path traveled by an object in motion while going from one point to another. Means when any object or a person is in motion, if he or she is doing any movement, then from going from one place to another, the actual path which that person or the object is covering, okay, the actual path, suppose you are going from your home to your school, so the actual path, the actual distance which you will cover, suppose it is 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, that is called as the total path covered. Okay, from reaching to a particular destination which you wanted from a point where you started. Okay, so that total distance is that total path covered is called as distance. Now here you can, another example is given. First I have given you of that school and your home. Now the another example is, if a car travels east, okay, for 5 kilometer and takes a turn to travel north for another 8 kilometer, so here the total distance would be 13, 5 plus 8. Okay, obvious, the distance can never be 0, okay, or negative, and it is always more than the displacement of the object. Now what is displacement? It is the shortest distance between starting and the finishing point. Okay, means suppose you are standing in front of any blackboard or any object. Okay, and if you will move forward or you will move backward, either your choice, then the change in your position when you displaces, see the word itself explaining its meaning, displacement means if you are displacing yourself or any object is displacing itself from a position, okay, from the position where it is standing, okay, and goes either backward or forward, so that displacement of the place, that shortest distance between the starting and the finishing point is called as what? Displacement. When the change in your position occurs, okay, the object position changes, this change in position is known as what? Displacement. Now the third one is speed. Okay, so if you know the distance, as we have already understood what is distance, on object travels in a certain amount of time, so you can calculate the speed of an object. Okay, if you will know the distance, that what an object travels in a certain amount of time, then you can easily calculate its speed. And see students, the speed is a scalar quantity. If you will put there the figures, then you will get the speed. Now this is in this I have put in the mid of the slide because it is for your knowledge purpose. This we will discuss later on. Now velocity. This velocity is the description of an object's speed and direction. Okay, this describes the speed and direction of any object. It is a vector quantity. Now vector quantity means that quantity in which we will know respect to time in a unit time, but know any direction we know. Okay, as in speed we are knowing both, but here only we can know about the magnitude, like it is the rate of the change of displacement of a body. Okay, means at what rate the body is displaced from its position with respect to time is what called as velocity. Okay, then this see the example you can see here, as the sailboat's direction changes, okay, its velocity also changes. As the definition of velocity itself explains that the rate of change of displacement of a body. okay, with respect to time is called as the velocity of a body. So as the sailboat's direction changes, its velocity also changes, even if its speed stays same. Means if any object velocity is changing, if the speed stays the same, then also the velocity will change. Okay, as the sailboat direction you can see is changing, so its velocity will change. If the sailboat slows down at the same time, then it changes direction. How will its velocity be changed? Okay, this is a question for you all. Please answer this in the comment section. Now see, now here are some questions which will clear your doubt about the speed versus velocity. Okay, so how are speed and velocity similar? They both measure how fast something is moving. Okay, they both measure how fast something, like velocity is what? Rate of change of what? Just now we have discussed rate of change of displacement of a body, that how fast or how slow a body is changing from one position to another with respect to time is called as what? Velocity. In the same way, what in speed we have studied, that speed distance traveled in one direction by an object in unit time. What is speed? Distance traveled in one direction by an object in unit time is called as speeds. For example, 24 kilometer in south the car is traveling, 25 kilometers south in south the car is traveling, like this. So both are used for knowing the measures of how fast or slow something is moving. Now how are speed and velocity different? Okay, most of the students are confused about this velocity and speed. Okay, so here with this slide, some of the point I am clearing of yours. See, the velocity includes the direction of motion and speeds does not. The car is moving in the east, okay, in the east direction. So here the difference is also given, that velocity includes the direction of motion. As I have already told you that it is a vector quantity, it will not but only speed does not. Okay, speed is a scalar quantity, and in the speed you cannot know that what is the direction of the motion of the car or something which is moving. Then is velocity more like distance or displacement? Why? So displacement, because both are vectors which include an amount and a direction. Okay, is velocity more like distance or displacement? Means it means that it is a question that why. Then displacement, the velocity is more like displacement because both are vector quantity which includes an amount and a direction. Okay, now acceleration, it is the rate at which the velocity changes. Okay, see students, these terms are a bit confusing for you all, but if you will have a regular practice of this the for the study of these definitions and to know that what are the definitions actually meant for, then you will understood it. Okay, now see, it is the rate at which the velocity changes. Okay, so it can result from a change in speed, increase or decrease, a change in direction, or changes in both, like velocity, acceleration is a vector. Okay. So acceleration means, see, in our car, in our bike, we used to accelerate now. In the scooty, we used to accelerate. This accelerate means at what rate, increase or decreasing, we are doing to start up our thing. Okay. And if we are doing something also, then in that our work also, we are just what we are doing, we are increasing or decreasing our potential of doing something. Now we are accelerating our work according to us. Then see, understanding acceleration. Now as the ball falls from the girl's hand, see, this girl is playing basketball, and as the ball falls from the girl's hand, how does its speed changes? See, you can see here it is bounces 1 2 3 4 times, it is bouncing, so its speed changes from high to low. Then what happens to the speed of the ball as it rises from the ground back to her hand? So it is asking that what happens to the speed of the ball as it rises from ground back to her hand. Okay, means as it rises from the ground back to her hand, means the question is asking that what changes happens in the speed of that ball as it will again rise from the ground to her hand again. Means as that girl thrown the basketball to the ground. Okay, it throws the basketball to the ground. Then again when that basketball jumps, and when that when that girl holds that basketball again, then its acceleration what, it decreases. Okay, its speed decreases. Then at what point does the ball have zero velocity? Now this third one is, yeah, you have to answer is in the comment section below. And this fourth one also, see, this is easy, you have to answer it, so that I will come to know that who are understanding it or not. And you, if you have any queries, then you can ask me, I can answer your in the comment section. So how does the velocity of the ball change when it bounces on the floor? Now calculating acceleration. Acceleration is change in velocity upon total time. Okay, it is the change in velocity upon total time. Now change in velocity means what? Final velocity minus the initial velocity. So here you can see. Now time. Time is the measurement of how long. It is the SI unit of time is seconds. When would we need to use time in science? Can we break the second down into smaller measurements? In what way is time seconds different from the rest of the metric system? Okay, you should answer this. You should have this answer, students. Now see, this is a distance, speed. Here you can see it is a formula of a distance. It is speed into time. Now motion in a straight line. Okay, this means what? See, when a motion is in a straight line, motion in a straight line is nothing, it is a linear motion. Okay, straight means it is linear, as the name suggests already, it is in a particular straight line, thus it can be said that it uses only one dimension. Okay, so here you can see it is a type of linear motions. Means first one is the diagram which you can see here of that orange circles, you can see that is what, uniform motion. If a motion is happening in a straight line, it is of two types, uniform and non-uniform. Okay, then uniform one you can see here in a linear line, this 1 2 3 4 5 the circles are there. Okay, so see here it is equal distance, equal arbitrary, you can see here. In a non-uniform motion, see, if an object covers equal distance in unequal interval of time, it is said as non-uniform motion. But uniform motion is what? When an object covers equal distance in equal interval of time. Okay, when an object or a person covers equal distance. Okay, like if a car is traveling the equal distance, like 1 kilometer 1 kilometer 1 kilometer in equal interval of time, means 1 kilometer 1 hour, 1 kilometer in 1 kilometer in 1 hour. So equal distance in equal interval of time, that is called as what? Uniform motion. But non-uniform motion means equal distance but in unequal interval of time. Okay, means 1 kilometer in 2 hours, then again another 1 kilometer in 3 hours, like this time will be differ. Now uniform linear motion with constant velocity or zero acceleration. Here you can see it is written that the linear motion, also called the rectilinear motion, can be of two types, uniform linear motion and non-uniform linear motion. Okay, now here in more description with an example you can see if a body travels in a straight line, covers equal amount of distance in an equal interval of time, then it is said to have an uniform motion. In simple words, a body is said to have uniform acceleration if the rate of change of its velocity remains what? Constant, means same. Velocity is what we have already studied. Rate of change of, what is velocity? It is the rate of change of displacement of any object or body with what? With respect to time. Then here you can see if a car travels at a speed of 60 km per hour, then it will cover a distance of 1 km per minute. In this sense, the motion of a car acceleration is uniform. Then non-uniform motion in a straight line. Here example you can see a boy kicking a football. It might cover 4 meters in the first attempt. Means in the first attempt, when a boy kick a football, then that football will cover 4 meters. 6 meters in the second kick, 9 meters in the third, and so on per the velocity exerted by the body. Okay. Unlike the uniform acceleration, this body is said to have uniform non-uniform motion when the velocity of a body changes by unequal amounts in equal interval of time. Okay, by unequal amounts in equal interval of time, then the rate of change of its velocity changes of different points of time during its movement. Here you can see, here it is written uniform motion, non-uniform motion. See, when a body covers equal distance in a straight line, it is uniform. And when a body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time in a straight line, okay. Students, if I have told you about this, again I am telling you this, just listen properly, okay. Uniform motion means what I have explained you here is when a body covers equal distance in equal interval of time, okay. But in non-uniform, an object covers equal distance in unequal interval of time, okay. It is said to as non-uniform motion. See, here you can also see when a body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time, unequal distance. I have already explained you about that car diagram, then about that car example. Now see, in this case direction of motion remains the same in uniform one, but in non-uniform the direction changes. Then here the rate of change of motion, how you will measure that, how slowly or fastly the rate means the change of motion is occurring. Now the quantification of the rate of change of motion of an object is used everywhere, but defining the speed limit for the vehicles in an area or finding the speed with which the rocket leaving the earth to enter the outer space must be sent. That is the escape velocity. In this section we shall learn about the units that are used to define the measure of rate of change of an motion of an object. So students, don't confuse about this big paragraph. It is nothing but this paragraph. Through this paragraph we will just move forward about this topic, that what are those factors through which we will learn how to measure, or with the help of which we will measure the rate of change of motion. So see, the basic considered for the measurement of rate of change of motion is time. Basically what we will measure? Time. As we will say, objects moving with different rates will take different amount of time to cover a given distance. Hence, one of the ways of measuring the rate of motion of an object to find out the distance traveled by an object in unit time. So the quantity is defined as speed. So see, the major quantity which we will going to use to measure the rate of change of motion, that how fast or slow the changing in the motion through an object or by a person is happening, is with the help of speed. And as we have already studied that what is the formula of speed is speed is equal to distance upon time, okay. So see here, speed, a moving object may not always be in a uniform motion. That is, the rate of change of speed of the object may vary, means may change with time. In order to define the measure of the rate of motion of such objects, the concept of average speed is used. Okay, here in this paragraph it is explaining that as we will use the measure of, means here the measure is what? Speed, to see the rate of change of any object in motion, but through the help of average speed we can do it better, because the rate of change of speed of an object can change with time, okay. With respect to time, any object speeds can changes, but in order to define its measure, that how fast or slow that change happens, the concept of average speed is much better to use. So average speed is what? Is obtained by dividing what? The total distance traveled by the total time taken. What is the formula for speed? Was distance upon time, and for average speed, total distance traveled upon total time taken, okay. So the rate can be defined more comprehensively if we specify the direction of motion along with the speed. Means if we want to know the exact rate of the change in the this motion of an object, if you want to measure the exact rate of motion, then we should know the direction of motion also along with the speed. The quantity that takes both these into consideration is termed as what? Velocity. Now the second one is velocity, but as same as speed we will take here average velocity. So here average velocity's formula is also given. It is nothing but, most of us know that when an object is traveling in a straight line at a speed in a variable way, we could explain the capacity level of the rate of change of motion as per the terms of average velocity. This is calculated in similar manner like we calculate the average speed. If in case the velocity of the object is fluctuating at a rate that is uniform, then average velocity would be calculated by the initial velocities, arithmetic mean and final velocity for a specified time period. So the rate of change of velocity. Now what is this rate of change of velocity called, students? Acceleration. So the rate of change of velocity is called as acceleration. An object's acceleration is the net result, total result of any and all forces acting on any object as described by Newton's second law. Now the SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Accelerations are vector quantities. Now you know what are vector quantities, we have already discussed it twice. They have magnitude and direction both. And which is vector quantity, students? Velocity or speed? Yes, right, it is velocity. Now see here in this through this diagram you can understood this rate of change of velocity. See this one picture, you can see it is written I am accelerating because I am speeding up. Okay, you can you accelerate your bike, your scooters, now you accelerate means you are speeding up. Okay, you are increasing its speed to move forward. So I am accelerating because I am slowing down. Now this person is accelerating means both in the way of increasing, in the way of decreasing. Okay, so it this is accelerating because it is slowing down. Okay, now here I am accelerating because I am changing direction. This is also accelerating, moving forward, backward with the changing in the speed, changing in the velocity. Okay, now this is the formula of the acceleration. Thank you. So this is the first part of the motion. If you have any queries about this, then you can ask in the comment section below. Any of the question would of yours I will answer. Okay, then the second part will surely become okay, I surely will I will upload it. Okay, so be safe. Bye.